welcome back to Corporate Dakota, the place where we unpack the financial secrets that even CEOs might sleep through. Get ready, because today we're diving into a special report from iQSTEL Incorporated that's got a few interesting twists. Before we dive in, if you love getting these down-to-earth breakdowns of what's really going on with public companies, make sure you are subscribed. And hey, we've got a fantastic community over on Discord where we chat about these filings and more. You'll find the link right down below in the description. So what's the big news from iQSTEL Incorporated today? Well, it's all about dividends, but with a little bit of a math puzzle thrown in. It seems they're distributing shares, but the exact number changed. And we're going to figure out why. This is a current report, essentially a filing that companies make to the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, when something important happens that shareholders need to know about right away. Think of it as a headline alert for investors. This filing is dated the 17th of December 2025, and it talks about events that happened around that time, specifically related to a stock dividend. This tells us the company we are looking at is iQSTEL Incorporated. They're incorporated in Nevada. iQSTEL Incorporated's common stock is traded on the NASDAQ Capital Market under the ticker symbol iQST. This is what most people would recognize as owning a piece of the company. This section is where the core of today's story lies. It's an open category for any other important information the company needs to disclose. So, the company had already announced they would give out about 75,529 shares of stock as a special dividend. This was based on a value of $500,000, and they calculated that value back in late August of 2025. This is key. The record date, the 15th of December 2025, determines who gets the dividend. If you own shares on that day, you're in line to receive some. The actual distribution is happening at the end of December. Before this filing, the company was working with a number of about 4.3 million shares of stock outstanding. Based on that number, they figured out that for every share you owned, you'd get about 0.0173 of a new share. Think of it like getting a tiny slice of the company for each share you held. Now here is where things get interesting and explain the change. Between when they first announced the dividend and the record date, a bunch more shares were created, 213,963 to be exact. Most of these 208,338 came from 80 funding converting their preferred shares into common stock. The rest, 5625, were issued as part of their director compensation plan. This means more people now own pieces of the company. So, on that crucial record date, the total number of outstanding shares, the actual number of pieces of the company that existed, was 45,887,885. This is higher than the earlier number they were using. Because there are more shares outstanding, the pie has gotten bigger, but the number of dividend shares to be given out is fixed. So the ratio changes. Instead of giving out about 0.0173 of a share per existing share, they're now using a ratio of about 0.01646. It's a little less for each share you own because there are more shares overall to divide the fixed dividend pool amongst. Here is a crucial detail. This company, like many others, rounds down. If your calculation results in a fraction of a share, say 0.5 of a share, you get 0 of that fractional part. They do not give out partial shares, and they do not pay you cash for those tiny fractions. This is a common practice to avoid administrative hassle and costs. And this is the punchline of the whole dividend story because they are rounding down for everyone. The total number of dividend shares actually being distributed will be about 75,521, which is 8 shares less than the original 75,529. This difference, they say, is tiny and doesn't affect the overall value or is simply a result of that rounding down process. From a financial perspective, 8 shares out of over 75,000 is indeed very small and likely immaterial. Good news for those receiving the dividend shares, they can be traded freely. This means you can sell them right away without any restrictions, which is what the company had promised. Despite the slight adjustment in the total number of shares distributed, the timing of when you'll actually receive them is still the same, expected around the end of December. This section is where the company's authorized representatives sign off on the report, confirming that the information is accurate to the best of their knowledge. This is the electronic signature of Leandro Iglesias, who is listed as the Chief Executive Officer, the CEO's name, his title, the date the report was officially signed, matching the report date. Now, let's put on our analyst hats and look at what this all means. iQSTEL Incorporated is giving a stock dividend, which is essentially giving its shareholders more shares of the company. This is often done to reward shareholders or to increase the liquidity of the stock. The initial plan was based on a certain number of shares outstanding. However, the company issued more shares before the dividend record date. This increased the total number of shares in circulation. What's important here is how they handled it. They didn't increase the total number of dividend shares. Instead, they adjusted the distribution ratio. If you have a cake and you decide to invite more people to the party after you've already cut the cake into a certain number of pieces, you don't bake a bigger cake, you just have to cut your existing pieces a little smaller to make sure everyone gets a share of the original cake. The rounding down is a practical decision. It avoids the complexity and cost of dealing with fractional shares or paying out small amounts of cash. While it might mean a few shareholders get a tiny bit less than a perfectly calculated fractional amount, the overall impact on the dividend pool is negligible. As the company stated, the fact that these shares are free. Trading is also a positive for investors who want to be able to act on their holdings immediately. What does this tell us about iQSTEL Incorporated? First, it shows active management of their share structure, particularly with the issuance of shares for preferred stock conversion and director compensation. This is not inherently bad, it is just a sign of corporate activity. Second, the slight shift in the dividend distribution is a natural consequence of these changes and how they chose to handle it. For investors, it's a reminder to always pay attention to the record date and the total number of shares outstanding, as these can impact the exact outcome of dividend distributions. Looking ahead, this dividend distribution seems to be a straightforward minor event to reward shareholders. The underlying business health, however, is not detailed in this specific report. This filing focuses purely on the mechanics of the dividend. Wednesday need to look at other filings like their quarterly or annual reports to get a full picture of their financial performance, risks, and strategic direction. In conclusion, iQSTEL Incorporated's latest filing is about a perfectly normal, albeit slightly adjusted, stock dividend. The core takeaway is that while the stated dividend amount in shares remained fixed, the actual number distributed saw a small decrease due to share issuance and fractional rounding practices. It's a minor footnote in the company's story, but it highlights the subtle complexities of corporate finance. Alright, that's our breakdown of this iQSTEL Incorporated filing. What's your take on dividend distributions and how companies handle share adjustments? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this analysis helpful, please hit that like button. It really supports the channel. And of course, subscribe for more deep dives into the world of corporate finance. Don't forget to join our Discord community. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.